If your team got guaranteed money, tell them call me.
Whoop. Make me say, my. I done been around the world.
Yeah, I was made for this.
Player Performance with J.A. Cavalier.
What's going on? Welcome back to another episode of NBA Player Performance. It is Tuesday. NBA entire card. Going to go through the entire card. Make sure we break it down for you guys. Free picks and leans on every single game. Just telling you who we like, telling you why we like them. Hopefully making you guys smarter players, giving you the information you need to beat the books. Yesterday on the show, free picks. I don't think I fucking won a single free pick. Holy shit. However, I did cash what mattered most. That 29 no doubt route start to finish. The Nuggets went up by 6+ and never looked back from the first quarter on. They made it close late in the game, but we were sitting there with a big fat ticket. Of course, we cashed that. What do you say? Chicken, winner, chicken dinner. There you go. But we were. Guys, go ahead, smash the like button. Appreciation, always appreciated. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Luke is off tonight. You know, Luke is on vacation again. It must be nice. All right, guys, we're going to lock it up. We're going to put you guys in a position to make some money here tonight and put you guys in the absolute best form with the NBA tonight. NBA Player Performance starts now.
Let's jump into it. Tuesday's trend upward. We see you guys in the chat. Let's dominate. 7-game card today. A lot of information. Luke's off. We're on. Let's talk business. Celtics at Raptors. North of the border at 7 o'clock. We've talked about the Celtics for weeks. They are hot. They are back. Interesting spot tonight. I have a play on this. I'll give you guys a little discussion. Jay, do you like the Celtics tonight or what's going on here?
Bro, for me, Celtics all day, twice on a Tuesday. That's right, 2 for Tuesday. First half and full game. Significantly more efficient on both ends of the court. Plus 15.63 net differential. Celtics hold clear advantages, offense and defense efficiency, three-point shooting, turnovers, and of course, depth. Rebounding gap isn't massive, but Boston also has the edge there as well. 6th in points per game, 3rd in points allowed. Toronto ranks 21st and 25th. Nothing to like about the Raptors, not tonight, not in this spot. Celtics lead the league in three-pointers made, 9th in three-point percentage against the bottom 5 perimeter defense. Drew out, so what? That just means more Peyton Pritchard. And as if they needed more fuel, this is also a revenge spot for the fucking Celtics. Only concern for Boston backers tonight, and this is real, Toronto strippers. Legit. No, listen, I'm in Miami, and I'm telling you right now, holy shit, legit. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, I actually have never been to a Toronto strip club. I've been to Montreal. Shout out to you guys in Montreal. Beautiful lady.
10 of 10.
French flavor up there.
10 of 10. 10 of 10. All flavors there. 10 of 10. Ooh. Toronto strippers.
Without question. But, you know, looking at the disruption here for Boston, I would give you guys one on-court issue. Boston is on the front end of a back-to-back. They play tomorrow night at Detroit. Boston is 2-6 ATS on the front end of a back-to-back, and that includes a cover at Charlotte early season where Boston got 7 technical or flagrant free throws in the last 4 minutes of the game to cover. Totally egregious. Should be 1-7 ATS in this spot. And I was looking at this, and I do have an official on this, but I'll keep you guys in the VIP for that. But this is a funky spot for Boston on the calendar. They just played 5 consecutive games against big-time opponents, New York twice, Miami.
Don't do it.
Philly,
please don't do it.
Antonio.
Just don't do it. Just don't do it. If you're going to back the Raptors, just move on to the next game. Just don't do it.
We're not backing the Raptors.
Much like in the finals when I was begging you not to bet the Mavericks, just don't do it. Just don't do it. I told you, unless you like donating, don't bet against the Celtics. You cannot bet against the Celtics right now. You'd be trying to catch a falling knife. So if you're going to lean anything Toronto, just don't do it. I mean, if you're on the Boston, go ahead. Carry on.
I'll be on Boston when they play Cleveland on Friday night, but I don't know about tonight. We'll keep it moving. Jay seems perturbed.
Listen, friends don't let friends bet against the Celtics. They're not in the second half of the season. This is world domination. I'm telling you right now. Do not bet against the Celtics. Look for some way, shape, or form to bet on Boston. I told you the 5 games prior to the break that this is an absolute bet on team. You're not going to bet against the Celtics. I'm not going to let you do it, Sharky. Not going to let you do it. Can't let you do it tonight. I can't. I love you too much, man. I have too much love for you and too much respect for you to bet against the Boston Celtics tonight. Every other game, all you. Anything you want, any other game.
We shall see, and we'll just keep it moving here. 7:30 national game. Actually, a little surprising for me when I saw the national game in Orlando tonight. Showcase game, surprisingly. Rematch of the playoffs last year. 7 games, Cleveland in 7. We've mentioned this as we go forward through this season. Cleveland is far advanced from last year's product. Kenny Atkinson, a track meet team. Really a lot going on here. I'm interested in this game. I got a lot of action on this game. Jay, any thoughts on this one?
I do. Actually, I have an official play. It's something I already bet. But why don't you tell them who you like first, and then I'll go after, since I cut you off with the not letting you give out the Raptors on the show.
Well, I will tell you guys this. I have 2 VIP plays in this, and I'll throw it back to J.A. We're not shitting on anybody. We're having a great time. What do you think about this one?
Okay, so J.A., you just won your 20 dime no doubt route. What are you going to do next? Well, first, I'm going to win another 20 dimes tonight. But then, of course, I'm going to Disney World. And I'm doing it right. I'm going to do it. Got to do it. Mickey Mouse hat ears on and all. And I'm taking the Magic plus the 7.5. That's right. I'm fading the Cavaliers. The fatigue is setting in. We've seen it against Memphis. Now the 4th game in 6 days. It's also their first road game after extended rest, with a huge game on deck, as you just mentioned. They go to Boston on Friday. So it's easy to overlook Orlando. Magic were a straight fade, but hold up. They've now won 3 of their last 4, and they've covered in all 4 of those games. This is where we back the Magic. We back the Magic in the Magic Kingdom. 4-1 against the spread, last 5 at home against Cleveland. You know how it goes. MICKEYMOUSC. I'm all over Orlando tonight. That's right. 2 dime ticket already in pocket. Officially bet this one. So, guys, there it is. Official play. Locked, loaded, ready to roll. Tonight's going to be fun, man. Love the fucking card tonight. A couple spots that I'm betting really big on. 20 dime already in pocket. Another play that I'm probably getting to the window with at least 10 on. And then, of course, I have 2 dimes on the Magic plus the points. Have to in this spot.
Yeah, and my official free play on this is going to be the over. These teams did play back in November in Cleveland, 120 to 109. Noticeably high scoring there, 229. No Paolo Banchero. Banchero's back. He will compete. Line there was 216.5. This bumps up to 222. And, we're talking about Cleveland, maybe looking ahead to Boston on Friday, maybe coming off a big win against Memphis. But one thing they do sustainably is score the ball. And they're going to be a pace in this gym. It's going to be a wide open game. This is not going to be your normal Orlando game that you see on record time after time. These 200-point finals against teams like Charlotte, Washington, other divisional opponents. Game's going to be wide open tonight. Take the over at 222, and let's
there you go. Nice little SGP, right? Orlando Magic plus 7.5 and over. And I actually feel like they're correlated. I know the Magic are usually typically an under team, but I don't think so tonight. I think, they fully understand they're going to have to put up points to stay within this game and to cover this number. And if you look at how they played in the playoffs when the Cavs beat them, so this is playoff revenge, of course, you know what? There were higher scoring games than you would typically see from Orlando in Orlando. So I do like the profile of this game. I could see a nice little SGP working there. Guys, no, I do not have 20,000 on the Magic tonight. I have 2 dimes on the Magic tonight. No, it is not my 20 dime no doubt route. Eventually, I'll drop one for free for you guys, but not today and not this game. Absolutely not. Also, those asking about the VIP selections, I typically wait until after this show. We go through the show, we give a little breakdown. I'd love to hear what Shark has to say. even though we poke fun at each other, and that's nothing serious, you guys don't understand the dynamic in the relationship Shark and I have. Trust me, he gets on me way more than I actually get on him. He just doesn't do it on the show. He does it when we're on the phone or when we're on the fucking chat. He'll go ham on me. And we could listen, it's all in love, it's all in fun. So, you're talking about two extremely thick-skinned people. We're never going to take anything personally. We've called each other a lot fucking worse than we have on this show. So I just wanted to say that, I typically do another deep dive and a final dive, I's dotted, T's crossed, before I release the VIP. So the VIP typically gets released between 5:30, 6 o'clock. Did he freeze on me?
I thought we didn't need to call our man Burnsy.
Oh, that's well, that's the next game, bro. This is only game 2.
Oh, I thought we were going before game 3. I don't know. We're all over the place. Third game up here. Third game up here. Big time stuff here tonight in Houston. This is the game that I thought was supposed to be the national game when I looked at it. And of course, as we said, Cleveland, Orlando, low-key rivalry game. I get it, but this game, in my opinion, is more interesting. You get the young Rockets, upstart 35-22, laying points to Milwaukee for the first time in eternity. Very noteworthy stuff. Jay, any thoughts on this one?
All right. The totals dropped from 228. I don't think it's adjusted enough. So give me the under in this spot. Rockets defense 5th, allowing 109 points per game, drops to 106 in Houston. 5 of their last 7 home games have gone under the total. Similar story for the Bucks. 6 of the last 9 games, all under. 5 straight on the road. 3 of the last 4 games in this series also to the under. So basically just follow the numbers. Sometimes it is that easy.
Yeah, and I dropped this in my Telegram. If you guys aren't in the Telegram, click the link and join, please. Best of vibes in there. But free play for the day is Houston, -4. That is -3.5 on some books now. And this is really a great spot to buy Houston tonight. As I mentioned, first-time favorite in this matchup in a long time, and for very good reason. We're really getting a nice buy low on Houston here. Coming into the game, 4-7 ATS last 11. But if you guys remember, they had a cluster of back-to-backs, actually 5 back-to-backs in the month of January into February. So just fatigue. This is where they really start to uptick, and a really good spot to buy them off a road loss at Utah. They were fatigued there. They won't be here. Also a front end back-to-back. They play the Spurs tomorrow. When I was going through this, my eyes completely lit up. Houston is 10-0 ATS on the front end of a back-to-back if played on a weekday. That is clean living and a massive sample. They're also great at home against the East and Central opponents. Beat Cleveland outright at home, hammered Indiana as a favorite at home by 17, and Milwaukee's just a fade spot. They're 4-0 straight up last 4, all unimpressive. Backdoored Miami, barely beat Washington, backdoored the Clippers, and barely beat Minnesota. This is where you want to take Houston tonight. Let's cash this one, guys, and let's keep it moving.
Well, I was pretty impressed with the 20 dimes they put in my pocket on Sunday. Sharky, what's your promo? What do you got? Tell the guys what you have going on.
1 week, $99. If you guys want to sign up, please do. I have 5 VIP plays tonight. I say it every day. This is the best time of the year. Next fall, we'll be on here in October, and we'll be telling you guys a little more patience. We're trying to figure out, let the data build. Well, we have it built for us. We love being here late February, going into March. Please sign up with us, and let's cash. Keeping it moving here. Interesting game here at 8 o'clock in Memphis. Suns at Grizzlies. And J.A. and I have been on here for weeks trying to uproot the narrative that you still hear on TV that the Suns are good. You turn on TV, you hear Durant, Booker, Beal, Big Three, all this. You turn on this show, and we tell you this team is fucking terrible. J.A., talk to me. What's going on with this team?
I can't figure it out. I mean, I don't think anybody understands. This is really an anomaly, right? The Grizzlies at home, worst ATS team in the league in the Suns. So obviously you got to take the Grizzlies. There's really no reason that the Suns are this bad. You know, when you factor in Beal, Durant, and Booker, it really does actually defy all logic, but they are. So, you know what? Listen, that leaves opportunity to cash. So I'm just going to keep fading the Suns until it no longer pays. I will be on Memphis in some way, shape, or form. Don't overthink this one. As far as a couple of things, the one guy who says that he's still betting the Cavs no matter what, listen, it's your money. You're always free to do whatever you want to do. I give you the games on how I'm looking at them, what I like, and I tell you why I like them. And I'm getting to the window with who I'm getting to the window with. So if you like the other side, by all means, play what you like. Can't argue with that. That's always, you know, listen, it's going to be your money, right? So you have to be comfortable with what you're betting. All we could do is provide the information.
Yeah, you know, when you look at Phoenix here, this team is just the definition of disruption. And I think it starts at the top with the coach. And I've been saying this on the show day after day. When I watch Budenholzer, and I tune into their games because I'm really trying to figure out what the problem is. He looks so unbelievably fatigued and drained. And then I think to myself, how the hell is a guy like that supposed to motivate a group like this with huge egos on the franchise? I mean, you know, you can say whatever you want about Booker and Durant. These guys are multi-millionaire superstars. They have huge egos. You need a really unique coach to be able to really have a grip over that type of team. And after trading Yusuf Nurkic, they really have no bigs. It's really a bad version of just guards, older players, not a lot of defense. And I think the chemistry is gone too. I was watching the game at Chicago over the weekend. It was a matinee, a 5 o'clock start. Booker's on the sideline. He looks angry. He's like kind of like shading the other guys, like giving bad body language. Durant looks lackadaisical. And Beal has never, ever felt comfortable with this group. Injured most of last year. This is just a project gone totally awry. And I think ultimately Memphis is a nice look tonight. VIP play in this one for, I believe, both of us, and we'll keep it moving.
Assad, yes, I actually would lean to the under in that game as well. I don't, you know, I actually think that Memphis has slowed pace, and Jaren Jackson Jr. is actually making a push towards the defensive player of the year now that the big man, slender man, Wemby has gone out. Phoenix is ass. Yes, Phoenix is ass. Seth, what's going on? Sean Murphy, what's going on? H-Town Legend, what's going on? Always in the chat. Glad to see you guys. Down, McKay, my guy. Kennedy back with us today. Missed you the last couple of days. All right, moving on. Next game.
Yeah, next game. We're going down to New Orleans again here. Spurs' second consecutive game playing in New Orleans. New Orleans sitting here as a favorite for the second game in a row. I think to the surprise of most people. Certainly I'm surprised. But you saw it over the weekend. Maybe the books were not wrong. New Orleans has been one of the worst teams in the league. Injuries just beyond any sort of normalcy. They can't get the same starting group on the court, it seems like, any game consecutively. They blew out the Spurs 114-96 over the weekend. Huge second half. 74-43. When I was looking at this, I was thinking to myself, the Spurs have to get some revenge. But I think that the Pelicans have been so bad for so long. If they're coming up, they're not supposed to go back down. The books still like the Pelicans tonight here. Jay, any thoughts?
You know, we saw the dead cat bounce, right? As soon as Wemby went down, the superstar subtraction, the Spurs absolutely lit it up. And then they've just been fucking tanking since. I don't really have any explanation for it, because I would think that I would still like the way the offense flows with Fox running the show there. And they're still deep. They still have a lot of young stars and a lot of young talent there. So I can't figure that one out either. I don't bet on the Pelicans right now. Another team that you just really can't figure out. You have Zion, you have CJ, and I understand you have a lot of injuries there, the way which has held them back for the last 2 years. But still, there's no reason for them to be this bad or so inconsistent. So no pick, no play, no opinion, just pass.
Yeah, one thing I will say about this, oftentimes when you see these games played in the same gym with the same teams back to back, the game flow will reverse game one versus game two. We're not entirely sure why. It's mostly psychological, I think. Pelicans came out terribly over the weekend, caught wind late. Oftentimes that does lean towards the Pelicans coming out well tonight and maybe the Spurs finding it late. And again, it's psychological where the Spurs say, we totally blew the game. Maybe let's conserve a little energy and then have it late to win the game. And as you said, I mean, they've really fallen off a cliff here. They look pretty decent. I like that term, dead cat bounce, on a suddenly not so casual Tuesday. But the last two games, I mean, we faded them correctly. We had Detroit to beat them at home, 15-point win. And then, you know, when you lose by 18 and lose by 30 in one half to New Orleans, something is going terribly wrong there. So I think New Orleans early, probably the best look in this game, and keeping it moving.
Yeah, Lino, you could catch me. Actually, I'm pretty excited. That's about the only thing we have to be excited about here in Miami when it comes to the Heat. 14 of the next 17 games are home games. So we're going to get a lot of action at the arena. Come see me in the Ocho Lounge. I'll be there pretty much every single game. You guys can catch me in the Bacardi Lounge. Yeah, so, I mean, listen, there's that, right? We get 14 of the next 17 games at home, so at least we'll have some fun nights and lots of mojitos.
Yeah, you know, it's actually interesting. As I was capping this card today, I noticed a lot of different teams are going on either long road trips or have long home stands coming up. Phoenix goes home for like 5 after this. I believe Boston has like a 2-week home stand after they play Detroit tomorrow. Just a lot of interesting stuff here as we get into March. And as we said, we love March because you get good calendar spots. And of course, you get information.
Do you favor teams in that spot, like a team that's home, you know, for extended periods of time, or you know, obviously we don't favor anybody who's been on the road for extended periods of time. But do you favor the teams for extended? Because I find there's a little complacentness when you have a team on an extended homestand. If there's no breakup in between those, like even if it's a 1 game off where you take a road trip for 1 game, even if it's from like Miami to Orlando and then back to Miami, what's your opinion?
I mean, I think if you have a true homestand, and like I think Boston's a good conversation here because Boston does actually come home after Detroit. They return home the night of February 26th, which is tomorrow night. They don't play on the road again until March 14th at Miami. That is 14 to 15 days. So the conversation, I think, has to be a little bit more unique. How long of a homestand and what opponent types? And when you look at who actually Boston's playing, they play Cleveland, Denver, then they play Portland, Philly before the Lakers. So you're going to get some ups and downs, ebbs and flows opponents. I think for me, it's more just opponent types and motivation within it. But obviously, expecting a team to sweep a homestand of 6 to 8 games over 2 weeks, probably unsustainable. They're going to have at least one downward movement point. And, you know, speaking of teams going on the road for a long period of time, the Warriors tonight, next game up here, Hornets at Warriors. The Warriors tonight are in a funky spot. This is the second game of a small homestand. They just blew out Dallas. And after tonight's game, they traveled to the East Coast for a 5-game trip at Orlando, Philly, Charlotte, New York, and Brooklyn. So you talk about psychology. This team has looked good with Jimmy Butler, but this is a trap spot. I have some angles towards this, Jay. I mean, I know you're not a big fan of Jimmy Butler right now, but he has made the Dubs look pretty good.
Like, I can't lie. So I was heavily invested in the Warriors. I actually had the Warriors in a couple parlays. What was that, Sunday, when they beat the shit out of Dallas? Yeah. So, and I watched the Warriors for the first time in a long time because prior to acquiring Jimmy, they had just been playing really stale, boring basketball on both ends of the court. But it was incredibly fucking exciting. And Jimmy does have like a revived career working there in Golden State. Listen, I made a lot of videos and I talked a lot of trash about Jimmy, right? But when you're a Heat fan and you support the guy, what are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? Like that's your guy. That was the heart and soul of your team, brought you to 2 champions. Obviously, we didn't win any of the finals, but he brought us there. And, you know, listen, he was the guy. And it wasn't, again, you know, I've said this before. I'll say it again. It wasn't him leaving. It was the exit interview. That's what bothered me more than anything. I think that's what bothered everybody here in Miami. The way he left. You know, how bad he ruined all relationships on the way out the door. If he would have just done it in a more classy way, I don't think anybody would have had a problem. And people would have understood, listen, you're nearing the end of your career. You're in your 30s. You want to move on. You want to play for a contender. Completely get it and completely makes sense. So prior to doing this game, I actually had laptop issues while I was looking at this game. So what I did was I ended up slamming my laptop against the wall, and then it started working. I don't think that there's the same fix for the Charlotte Hornets. Hornets team total under 101.5 in this game, and that's actually a true story. Charlotte's offense leaves pretty much everything to be fucking desired. 28th in scoring last 6 games, over 100 points just one time. In their last 6 games, they put up 100 once. Warriors have a top 10 defense. Last 2 meetings, Golden State has held Charlotte to 97 and 84. No LaMelo Ball, no offense. That's pretty much been the narrative for me when it comes to the Hornets. So when it comes to the Hornets, either you're going to look to fade them in some way, shape, or form. Not so sure I want to lay close to 20 points in any game in the NBA. I don't even really like laying in double digits. I will do so tonight with the Boston Celtics. Tell you that right now. Matter of fact, already have. I do have 2 dimes on the Boston Celtics. So no, that's not my 20 dime play, but I have bet on the Boston Celtics for those trying to guess. Don't worry, there's only 7 games tonight. You guys keep guessing, maybe you'll get there. But I would only look to the Charlotte Hornets team total under. That's probably the one winner I did give out last night on the show. I did tell you guys Charlotte Hornets team total under in the Kings game. I'd probably look to do more of the same here in this spot.
Yeah, I got to disagree with that, to be perfectly honest with you, because one particular reason, the only time they've really exploded offensively this entire road trip, the game LaMelo did not play. And it was also a back-to-back off and under. They played a real low-scoring game at Los Angeles, went to Denver, 129-115. Very similar spot. And as I said...
Wait, Shark. I disagree with your disagreement because of the fact that you have to look at the difference. And I, of course, looked at the game. The pace in which Denver has been playing with. To me, that's the difference in that game as opposed to this game. The Golden State Warriors aren't going to play with that type of pace. And the Golden State Warriors defense is by no means the Denver's lack of defense. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. Obviously, Denver is just an absolute unit scoring the ball, both pace and field goal percentage efficiency. But I do think the element of Golden State going on the road to the East after this, I don't think you're going to get Game 7 defense at all. And if you look at what Charlotte's been doing, I mean, even go back to forget the game at Denver where they gave up $129. I mean, they just gave up 141 to Portland, and then they give up 130 to the Kings, who hadn't been able to really do anything up until last night offensively. Zach LaVine, 42 points. And if you look at what the Warriors have been doing just in this small window with Jimmy Butler, I mean, they've been scoring the ball with emphasis game after game. So I really am honestly thinking this is going to be very similar to that game with 230-something points. But we shall see, and let's keep it moving.
So what do you like here? You like the game over?
I think this is going to be an over because I do think that you're going to see lack of compassion on defense from the Dubs going on the road, East next. And I think what you saw without LaMelo Ball, it's going to be this kid, Nick Smith. He's a real fast run, high pace type of guard. It's going to be Bridges and these guys just playing no defense.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. So with that being said, do you think that maybe Bridges points over would be a better look?
I think it's a good look as well. I don't know about better, but I think right on that plane. Like last night on the show, I said to you guys, take Lonzo Ball over and take the Bulls over. Basically, it was the whole game was graded to be overs. Chicago at Philadelphia. You guys saw it. 142 to 110. Everything in the game went over. And that's what happens oftentimes with the prop market in these games. The game's graded to an over, and that's, of course, facilitated by the fact that players all have to score more. So, yeah, I think that the Charlotte team total or the player overs in the points market, Nick Smith.
Let me just answer a couple of these questions before you move on. All right. As far as the Jokic putting up 18 and them just blowing them out, actually, the style of play in which Jokic is playing right now is actually a better fit for everything that Denver wants to do. If Jokic was just out there running and gunning and chucking threes and putting up shots, he'd be Luka Doncic. But the reason why he's the best in the game, the best to do it, is for the fact of everything else he does, and literally he does everything else. He plays on the defensive end of the court, rebounds, passes, distributes, and he always makes the right play. Jokic's size isn't what makes him so ridiculous, and it's definitely not his speed and his quickness, right? What makes Jokic so good, the best player in the game right now, is how smart he is. It's his basketball IQ. It's everything else he does, on top of the fact that he's actually a good outside shooter for his size and a knockdown free throw shooter, which is very difficult at that size. But it's more so everything else he does. Shark, you agree?
Regarding Jokic, you said?
Yeah, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, he's probably the best player in the league in terms of just offensive skill set. I mean, you rarely ever get a guy at that height that can do pretty much the entire game. So without question. And I was just saying in the chat, Lonzo Ball yesterday, getting hurt in the first quarter after hitting 2 threes, and now he's not even on the injury report tomorrow.
Oh wait, how did he get hurt?
He had a face laceration or something. He exactly what I said. I said he's going to go out there, he's going to be aggressive, shoot the three.
Wait, a face laceration? What happened?
He got hit in the face, and then he sat out the whole rest of the game.
With elbow?
He played 8 minutes. He had 6 points in 8 minutes.
What happened, Bernsey? He got hit in the face with a ball? He got hit in the face with balls. So Lonzo got hit in the face with balls. Is that what happened? So who caught more balls on the chin? Yogi Berra or Rock Hudson?
Lonzo Ball bringing everybody together here.
All right, let's go.
We're caught up on the horn. It's funny. We're sitting here talking about LaMelo, Lonzo Ball. I guess it does all kind of pull itself together. But pulling ourselves together here, big time basketball, 10 o'clock national game, Dallas at the Lakers. I mean, you want some Hollywood here. Our guy Cine Papa in the chat, and that is Cine, not sign, I believe. But he wants to.
He's gonna have to do one of those Google what is it, the webinary where they kind of break it down with the dashes on how it's supposed to be pronounced, so we understand.
But I was watching Jay before recording a bunch of stuff on this game. I know he's hyped on this game. I will definitely have this game on. This is cinema. This is Hollywood. It's in Hollywood. It's Luka versus his old team for the first time. Is Luka going to show up and score 35 tonight?
I don't know if Luka shows up at 35. I think that the Lakers end up winning this game by close to 35. Look, here it is. The biggest game of the night. We've all been waiting for it. We're all going to have the popcorn ready. This is going to be on the big TV, obviously. The Dallas Mavericks, the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, listen, I'm still going to say that the Mavericks won the trade, but the Lakers win tonight. And they do so by margin. Line opened up at 4.5. It was bet up to 9. It's not just sharp money. It's sharp money. It's smart money. It's my money. And it certainly helps, but it's not just the Luka revenge narrative. The bigger issue is the issue of the bigs in Dallas, the lack of size. That's what she said. AD, Gafford, Lively, all out. PJ Washington, game time decision. It's going to be a layup line at the rim. Lakers 12-3 last 15, 7-1 last 8 at home, 8-2 against the spread last 10. Dallas has been absolutely awful on the road. Their last 10 road games, 3-7 straight up, 3-6-1 against the spread. Completely exposed by the Warriors. So it's going to be more of the same here. Give me the Lakers, the Lake Show tonight by 20. I will make that the ride or die, the ride of the day. $200 Amazon gift card. And because the OKC Thunder sold on us last night, I'll actually do 2 of them tonight. Now, listen, for those talking about the Thunder, I saw you guys in the comments. I fucking watch. I see you guys. You guys are talking in the comments about the loss. You know what? What you didn't mention is I actually gave out 4 fucking plays on that game. I actually gave you guys 4 plays on that game. I went 3-1 on those 4 plays. The first quarter cashed laying the 3.5. The first half smashed. OKC was up by close to 20. And the OT ended up getting us there on the Thunder team total. So the only one that didn't cash was the actual game itself laying the 12, but they were up by 25 going into the fourth quarter. There's really not much you could do that. And I was talking to Shark, and a couple of others. The issue with something like that is, once you get up by such a big number, by such a fat number, you know what? All the motivation has now left your body, right? So now you have to get back up, and it's almost next to impossible to get remotivated after just completely letting down and shutting it off. So I don't see that happening here tonight. If you want a better look, you may look to the Lakers in the first half. I may go official with that. I haven't gotten to the window with that one yet, but I would try and catch that under 5. Right now the line's at 9, so you should be able to catch that right around 5. Lakers first half, you would expect them to come out the gates quick. So I can see that happening. Lakers right out the dime. And no, Jose, listen, you guys are not going to guess by 20 dime tonight. It's pretty much an off-the-grid type play. So, you could keep guessing, but you're just filling up the comments with nonsense. Not happening. But I will say this. I do like the Lakers in the first half tonight. I will have a sizable play on that. That might be my best bet on the show is actually Lakers first half. Let's narrow it to the first half, because I do see them getting out the gate real quick, and I can see them sputtering down the stretch. But out of the gate real quick, laying the 4.5. I'm seeing on Hard Rock you can still get that at 4.5. I'm fine with that at 5 to 5.5. Shark, what do you think about that look?
First half, you said?
Yeah, first half.
Honestly, I got to be honest. I don't know how to read this game, because I think the emotions are going to be incredibly high on both sides of this game, and when that happens, it could go either way, because I think one of the things that I oftentimes attach to is when you're nervous, you oftentimes play either terrible or great, but the nerves are actually the continuum point, the center point of it. So the point is your emotion is actually the same, but you get very polarized results. So I think that Luka could come out here and just be on fire, or he could be actually very cold and just sort of like uncomfortable in the moment. And I would say this, if you look at the first couple games when he was playing with the Lakers going back to last week, he didn't look very comfortable. And, of course, they did look good on the road at Denver. I don't know if that's really just like a sustained upward plane. I think you're going to still see pockets of uncomfortability here. So I don't entirely know. I'm very curious. And, of course, the line is all over the Lakers. I have no disagreement there. This is
but I think it's been bet that way, hasn't it? And I think that this was, this line on this game was set and out and available to bet to the public. And I'm talking about even on boutique books like Hard Rock, like DK, like FanDuel. It was posted a week ago. As soon as the trade happened, it was posted. So people have been hitting it. And that's why I opened this by saying it's not just sharp money. It's not just smart money. It's also public. Everybody has been betting this game. Maverick fans have been betting this game. Laker fans have been betting this game. Luka fans have been betting this game, which is why I had to mention the Luka revenge narrative, because that's going to play a big part into this tonight. And listen, the public doesn't always lose. I don't care what they say. The public doesn't always lose. This is a good spot for the Lakers. I just don't know that I want to be stuck there with 9.5. I like them early because I do think that they get out the gate with emphasis. You saw the same thing with the Warriors when the Mavericks came to town. And I also think that the Mavericks are pretty much going to be in a free fall until some of that size start coming back. Yep, that's what she said. So until they start getting some of that size back, I think the Mavericks are just going to absolutely free fall. I think they were exposed by the Warriors, and I think that, they're going to follow suit here tonight. They had no answers. And you know what, when you're playing with a shortened bench, and that's another thing we were talking about yesterday, the bench is just so short that you also have to take into account. It's not just the size and all the 7-footers and all the lengths out, but you're shortening your bench. Guys who don't play 30 minutes are now being asked to and having to play 30 minutes. So, of course, at some point, that's going to take its toll. I don't care how young. I don't care how athletic. It doesn't make a difference. And as far as Chris goes, yeah, Kyrie can step up. Kyrie can put up 40. That would be great. You know what? And they can still score 90 points in this game. So, it doesn't matter. They're just shorthanded. There's no size. I just don't see them being able to compete in this game. I like the Lakers. The best look for me would be the Lakers in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, again, as I said, I don't really have any conviction to either side. I think that it's just a open season game for me. I'm not entirely sure. And, we're getting preempted in the commentary here. Who said that about Kyrie? Oh, Chris, good call. I was just going to say, I think the best look in this game is Kyrie Irving points over 25.5. I think this is going to be the Kyrie show. And we've seen this with Dallas. When Dallas played the Warriors at home, Kyrie notably showed up. You know, it's Klay Thompson against the Warriors. Kyrie going back to when he beat the Warriors in the finals, when he played for the Cavs. This is what Kyrie does. He shows up for big games. It doesn't get much bigger than this. It's the last game on the card tonight. It's national TV. He's going to want to show up. I honestly would be shocked if he doesn't go over 25.5 points tonight.
No, I can see that happening. I mean, obviously you would expect me, but you know what? In all fairness, that's basically all they have. So he's going to have to fill it up.
Yeah, without question. I mean, you're looking at the other props here. Like Luka has a really high level or high line tonight. He's averaging 26.7 on the season, and the books have him graded at 31.5. So
I would actually lean to the under on that. I don't think he's going to get there, but I also think that this may be one of those second half blowout forms where they start pulling stars, and that would be another thing that would scare me off any Kyrie props as well. Because if this game gets into the double digits, I can absolutely see Jason Kidd and the Mavericks just sitting a guy like Kyrie, just more so of a nod of respect to Luka and what he did for the franchise and what he's done for the organization. And quite frankly, what he's done for Jason Kidd's career, right? Jason Kidd is not still coaching in the NBA, if not for one Luka Doncic. So you know what? You also have to look into that narrative. This may be one of those games that the Mavericks are not actually getting up for. I would think more so this is probably that game that the Dallas Mavericks are fucking avoiding, or we're looking to avoid. It's more one of those games that the Mavericks as an organization in itself just want to get past, just want to move forward. If AD was playing tonight, it may be more of a storied game. But the fact of what they did and how at least their fans have all turned on the organization, and how many feel that they did Luka dirty, you know, how could you trade the face of the franchise away? Look, and again, I still think it was a good move for the Mavericks. I will not back off of that hill. However, I do think that you know what, this is more of a Mavericks. Let's get in, let's get out. You know what? Let's not get hurt. We can't afford any more bodies. You know what? Move on. And the Lakers turn it the fuck up. Luka's going to come out with some steam. But that's not always a good thing when we're talking about Luka.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I think I agree with you 100%. Like, Mark Cuban, obviously, you know, trying to get rid of this franchise, all that bullshit. But, you know, the GM, Nico Harrison, even Jason Kidd, I think all the people involved in the front office of this want the game to be done. This kind of reminds me of the psychology we talk about sometimes in terms of football and like tanking, where everybody says, oh, they're tanking for the number one pick. And then all of a sudden the Patriots beat the Bills in week 17 or week 18 to get rid of the number one pick. Like, players don't tank.
Put them in timeout.
Like players are straight away always competing for contracts. It's not necessarily even the team, the Mavs. It's who's going to sign me next year. Players do not tank.
Real quick, I have to address this. Sanai, you know you're our guy, man, and we love having you in the comments and in the chat every day. But you know what? I do expect there to be a code of conduct, and I do expect you guys to respect one another in the comments. You know, listen, we're sports fans, we're sports bettors, we can all talk trash, right? But calling people out, calling people names, that's not going to fly. I don't want to fucking see it. I don't want to see, you know, anybody, you know, any type of slurs towards other people. I don't want to fucking see it. I really don't want to see it. You'll be put in timeout. If I got to treat you like a kid, we'll treat you like a kid, no problem. But what I won't do is I won't allow you guys to disrespect one another, even in the comments. I don't want to see it. All right, guys, let's just try to act like adults. We don't have to be like every other social media fucking platform where people are just trolling one another. We don't have to do it. We could be better than that. You know, we do this show for you guys every day. I'm pretty sure Shark is already locked in his bets. I know I'm about to lock in my bets one way or the other. We try to bring this to you guys on a daily basis, you know, to give back to the community. You know, many of you guys are here from the elite, from the private plays, from my personal, you know, chats. And, you know, we love you guys as family, and, you know, but we do this for you guys too. And we're doing it for those who can't afford to purchase as well. But we're taking the time out of our day to make sure that on a daily basis, We're here for you guys, and we're trying to do it on a more consistent time. We ride together, win, lose, or draw. You know that I'm riding. You guys have seen my tickets, but I want you guys respecting each other. You can go at each other. Absolutely. You can go at each other. I have no problem with you guys going at each other and talking a little bit of trash. But again, just keep it respectful. We can always keep it respectful.
Yeah, and I've said this before. I mean, it kind of blows my mind how on the internet people can't disagree without making it a personal attack. Like, if you disagree on a sports take, that's just a pure disagreement on the evaluation of the game. It doesn't mean the guy's like a complete idiot or the biggest clown or the biggest dirtbag. Like, no, it's like we're just having a conversation about a topic. It doesn't apply to like the systemic nature of the person. So, guys, just keep that in mind. We're just shooting the shit here. It's the Shark and Jay Cavalier. We're hanging the hell out here on a Tuesday. And, of course, Luke is in the wilderness of Wisconsin looking at props, getting ready to dominate.
But Jermaine, there's just certain things that I can't tolerate. Like, first off, let me just call a spade, and let me just, be completely transparent. My daughter's gay, right? My daughter's gay. So the last person who wants to see that, and you know who I am? I am absolutely that motherfucking proud father, rainbow warrior on the fucking during the gay pride parade. That's right. Don't give a fuck who it offends. That's right. Supporting my little girl. Don't care. That's who I am. So we're never going to attack anybody else's race, or we're never going to attack anybody else's preferences. You know what? Everybody is free to live how they want to live. And that's just how I see it, man. And you know what? You can respect each other. And that's all I'm asking for you guys, is I want to see you guys respecting each other. Listen, you guys ever come at me for a loss, I don't ever duck into a little hole or duck under my desk or hide from it. I'm completely fucking fine with it. However, you know what? We could do it with respect. And that's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? And look, I get it. He probably didn't mean any harm by it. From what I know about the guy, from being in the comments on a daily basis, he's actually a good dude, man. He is a good dude. I just think he said something, he probably, said shouldn't have said. And one thing I can't do is I can't tolerate certain shit, and I'm not going to have it here. That's all. All right. All good, man.
Yeah, no, I agree. And truthfully, as Jay always references our conversations off the air, we bring you guys a high level of energy. We're human beings just like you guys. It is all respect and love. And I'll just wrap this game up. I think the best look in this game for me is Kyrie Irving over 25.5 points, 10 o'clock on the East Coast, 7 o'clock Pacific. Going to be a classic tonight. 47 minutes in, we got some best bets. Let's go.
Still a classic, one of my favorite all-time New York fucking absolute headbangers. Growing up in Queens, going to clubs in the city, it obviously just brings me back to my youth. All right, so the ride or die, obviously, I've already released it. I'll release it again. I'm going to give 2 ride or dies, no problem. I'm going to go first half with the Lakers, laying the 4.5. I will back the Lakers full game as well. I'm probably not going to play it as much. I'll play it for less. I will, however, play the first half. I'm probably going to have 5 dimes on that. So if you guys want to know, I'll post a ticket when I get to the window with it, when I start closing out on bets here in the last 20, 25 minutes. No problem. So ride or die, how are we going to do it? 2 gift cards, $200 Amazon gift cards. Lakers cover the first half, win by 5+, 2 Amazon gift cards. We're going to start giving out free merch on this show pretty much every day to put you guys, to make you, give back to the community. Always give back. It's not always about making money. If you guys notice, I don't really promote much of what I do here on this show. I'm just here, for the fun, to get along with the comments, get along with the community, basically to support my boy Shark, support my boy Luke. You know what? I'm good with just sitting here, having fun with you guys, going over some shit, talking some shit. Love it. Love to do it. Love it in the comments. So, guys, what I do need, you guys were a little bit weak yesterday on the Q&A. I'm going to need you to light it up. We're going to try to answer 5 to 10 questions. We'll go through it real quick. Give us some real shit. Give us some real questions. No problem. Let's go.
Practice? We're talking about practice, man.
Isaac, hit me up. No problem. I'll reply to you. You got to understand something. We have over a couple thousand people in that right now. I try to get to everybody. On some people, I just can't do it. but I will try to get to you. Make sure you hit me up now, and I'll know that that you're there. Let's see. First question up. Who's going to win the final? So you're looking for an NBA future. I think personally I would have to back the Boston Celtics. You know what? They're the champs until they're no longer the champs.
That's a good question. I mean, this is, I got to say, going back a handful of years when the Warriors were winning every single season and it was these super teams, this is far before Jay and I were working together. But I was saying to people back in that time, I can't wait for it to have parity again, and we won't know who's going to win the title back when they strap it on in October. We're finally here. We don't know who's going to win. I got to be honest, I do think OKC comes out of the West this year. I've seen enough of this team. Of course, yeah, they blew a 20-point lead last night, but they just let down in the second night of a back-to-back, and Edwards wasn't in the game. They just kind of let it off the gas. But I think OKC comes out of the West. I think the Eastern Conference Finals is going to be an incredible series, Cleveland and Boston, probably 7. I got to say, I like OKC to win the finals this year.
I would actually love to see that series. I mean, I think that would obviously be the most exciting series, a Celtics Thunder. I would still take Boston in that only because they're shooting. They're more consistent from 3. And you know what? Nobody's going to stop. I don't give a fuck about OKC's defense. Nobody is stopping Boston from getting open looks and putting them up. What's the best way to diagnose games? I'm new to sports betting, kind of just want some insight on what I should look for when picking, okay, so there's a couple of things that I would look for. First, you want an odd screen. Maybe I'll post a couple of those tomorrow. An odd screen, I always, there's Odds Jam is a good one. And listen, I don't take kickbacks. I don't take commercials. I don't take promotions from anybody. So this is just what I feel would work. Odd screen, then you want to look into some other stat sites and really learn and do a deep dive into stats and compiling stats and start building your own models. Start practicing by building your own lines. Once you start setting lines, I think you'd be good to go, and you can see how close to a number you actually are on a consistent basis. And there's really easy formulas that people put out there in order to make it easier. And there's a lot of tutorial videos. Maybe we should start doing some of them, put them out here, answering more questions like that. Shark, what do you think? I honestly, the best way to start your sports gambling and start handicapping is extremely small, right? Baby steps, extremely small. Always bet with your heads not above it. If you have a problem gambling, 1-800-GAMBLER. If you got to bet, please do so responsibly. I would always start small. And even if you're somebody who's in a position to lose money, I would still start extremely small because, why risk something that you don't know too much about? But I also think that the first step would be making sure that you watch these games on a consistent basis and you really know what it is you're betting.
Yeah, without going into immense detail, I think the first thing that I would tell anybody who is trying to come into this sphere and do it properly is really forget you ever watched sports. Sports Center highlights will mislead you more than you have any idea.
I haven't watched Sports Center in decades.
Because when you're betting team sports, what you're actually doing, it's like you're playing golf and you're a heck of a lot better than the other golfers. So you give them 20 strokes to get it to a 0 average. The point spread is supposed to neutralize the game to 0. So the point is, it doesn't matter who's this or that. You have to know the lines are what tell you the story, not your eyeballs, your fandom, your friends, your friend group. It's total chaos talking to people about this who are fans, which is 99% of people you talk to. You have to disregard your fandom, have to disregard the highlights. Take care of the numbers first and realize they're all averages, statistical averages. This could be anything in the world. We're just betting sports, but it's actually statistics.
Really, what is a handicapper or what is predicting the game, right? It's a hypothesis, right? It's an educated guess. You're taking information from the past in hopes of predicting the future. Basically, that's what you're doing. I mean, is it more detailed than that? Yeah. But the detailed, as I've told you guys on this show many times, really comes with experience. And the experience comes with failures. So, you know what? You're going to lose a lot. You're going to make a lot of mistakes early on. but you can't get better, and you can't take the next step until you learn from those mistakes and you make those mistakes. And a huge part now these days is, understanding the number, how a line's made, how the numbers work, watching money movement, understanding where money movement is coming from. Is it public? Is it sharp? Is it just due to injury? There's so many things out there. And that's why I said an odd screen would really help people, because a good thing to do and practice with is when you have an odd screen, you can get the odd screen. You can see a number moving at a particular book in an instant, and then you can start going to check around to see maybe why it's moving, and to see if you have a good gauge on the temperature of what's moving and why it's moving and where it's moving from.
Yeah, and our guy Edwin says, I watch TMZ and follow some of the players' drama and, trying to see what's going on. I'm not going to say that you're wrong at all. You want to see the psychology of the game. Like, I gave you guys an example of a game last week, and I told you guys on New Year's Eve, James Harden and the Clippers played in San Antonio. And I said, James Harden is a notorious partier. He loves strip clubs. He's in San Antonio, a small town. They're not going to play. The Spurs beat him by 40. So I don't disagree. But here's the key point. The books had the Spurs favored by 3 points in that game. So the books knew it. And that's what I always want you guys to focus on. All the stuff you see, all the narratives, TMZ, ESPN, if you know it, the books know it, it will be in the line.
No, I think we're going to do an MLB show as well, pretty much same format as this. Probably just keep it going, but we probably won't dive into the MLB show, or we'll see what we can do time-wise until after the NBA, or at least until the NBA gets into the playoffs, and then maybe we'll start diving in. MLB is long. I mean, MLB is a long fucking drawn-out sport as well. So, when we'll start to dive in, and personally, I usually like to really dive in when it's like a week or two into the season, when I really have a feel for new squads, how they're playing, the pitching staffs, their rotations. Rotations are a big part of my handicapping. So obviously I want to see these rotations. I want to see what they're doing in certain situations. Everything with baseball is situational.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And some of my best success with baseball usually starts around May 1st. Obviously, I think they're starting a little earlier this year. March 27th, I saw was the opener for the Yankees. But you want to let the data accumulate. We talk about with NBA, you get 82 games, 6.5 months. Baseball, 162. So you get tons of data. It's incredibly profitable, but we want to let it build. And just a second point on it, baseball is a totally different sport from a bankroll management standpoint, because you're getting 10-plus games every single day. There's so many games to bet, so many sides, and the variance is huge. You could be on the right side of the game. Teams trying to not get swept on a Sunday, they come out and they hit into 4 double plays and lose the game. You can't control where the ball is going in baseball. You can't control motivation and effort like football. Football is motivation and effort. Baseball is really just long-term law of averages.
Well, also, what football is, every game counts. Alex, Max Christie over 17.5. I don't think that's a bad look. He's been playing well since he's moved on to Dallas. Shark, what do you think?
Yeah, I would agree. Absolutely. I think, as I said with Kyrie, I think the Mavs are going to come here and play freely tonight. If you talk about the pressure in this game, the pressure is on the Lakers. It's not on the Mavs. The Mavs have absolutely nothing to lose in this game, particularly without Anthony Davis. He's hurt, whatever. As I said, I think the pressure is on the Mavs front office, not the players. So I think the players are going to play freely tonight, and you're going to see points on the Mavs side.
The Lakers are not a triple crown. I am not playing them in the first quarter, nor am I playing their team total. I really truly believe that this game can get ugly early, and I think that affects full games. That also affects totals. So I would only look to them in the first half and the full game. I like them best in the first half. What else? Anything else, Mikey?
That's a tough question for me. I wish Luke was here, because when I cap props, I try to stay with the points. I couldn't give you a comment on that. I'll say this. Great question. You're obviously thinking deeply. I have nothing on that, though.
Yeah, this is where really, I sent a text to Luke saying, where the fuck are you? Answer some of these questions. Go in the chat. You have any other games you want to know about? Any other questions? Let's wrap this up.
All set with me. I think we're ready to ride the wave and cash some tickets tonight.
All righty.
Tell me what you gonna do now. Keep rolling, 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 rolling. Keep rolling, rolling, rolling.
All right, let's do that again. Get to ylose.com. That's the letter YLOSE.com. Free pick, stats, strengths, scores, odds, and more. You can find more from the Shark on Ylose as well. Also, links to his Telegram are in the description below. Listen, Telegrams are really the best look because Telegrams is where we drop everything for free on a consistent basis, daily basis, any late looks coming in. Oh, yeah. Also, I will be on Miami Heat Zone probably Thursday. Hit me up. Let me know if you want to do like a 5:30 show after I get off this show. I could just jump on. I'm assuming we're doing that live. So I will be on the Miami Heat Zone probably Thursday. We're just working out times and schedule that fits best. Anyway, he, of course, is Graham Sheasby, the Shark. I am J.A. Cavalier, your favorite capper's favorite capper. We're going to see you guys back here tomorrow as we break down the entire NBA card. But until then, remember that with your heads, not above them. Yesterday's a memory. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. You're here now. Let's make it count.